So they always talk about how you can just get up, travel, and there's so many jobs online.
How do you actually travel the world and work?
Today's video is going to be talking about how you can travel the world, be a nomad, and actually, make it sustainable. I'm going to go over 5 simple tips to help you with the process, and let's get into the video. Who don't know me, I am Shika. I'm a travel lifestyle content creator, mentor, and owner of Blogged. And on this channel, I talk about all things spirituality, wellness, entrepreneurship, and social media. And I've been doing the whole nomadic thing for probably 4 years now. And it is such a great, exciting thing to do. And I know a lot of my friends, or even some of you guys on my Instagram or here, are like, how do I do it? Or you're in the process of making that leap. So today I'm going to go right into 5 simple, quick, easy tips that you can do. We're going to go into concrete stuff that I went through, some tips that I got from other people, and how it can help you out as well. So let's go into the video. But before that, let me just say, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, put the notification bell so you don't miss another video, and you can get more tips that can help you out on your journey as you do the transition of, going into the nomadic world. Okay, now let's actually get into the video. Okay, so the first and foremost thing that I automatically knew the moment that I was going to be traveling around the world and creating this lifestyle is I needed money. We all need money. It's obviously something that you need in order to get your trips going and your flights and for you to live somewhere and for your business and all that stuff. So what I did right off the bat is I cut costs. I went through all of my statements, all of my banking, all of the expending that I did every single month, and I went through and crossed out everything, all the subscriptions that you end up forgetting and you're not sure, hey, should I delete it or not? Delete it. Make it the bare minimum of bones. I always say, I know a lot of people are like, cut out your gym membership, cut out this. Maybe choose 1 or 2 things that you want to keep and sustain, because you obviously don't want to, just cut cold turkey. It might be very hard for you. So the best way to transition is just to cut out maybe bringing your lunch to work, or making sure that you spend less money on going out having social events, maybe having them at home instead. And even just if you want to keep that 1 gym membership or get a lower cost one, that makes really a great sense. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit quicker in the future, then obviously there's so many amazing videos here on YouTube that I like to listen to that are just so great for working out at home. So that's a great option. And number 1, just cut off all the costs that are not necessary so you can add that to your traveling. Sometimes 1 meal can be 2 nights at a hostel. So the next one is find your value. This is a weird one, but finding your value of what you can give for that job part. So obviously, now that you've cut your costs, it's time to line up a job that you can do while you're on the road. There are so many amazing jobs. I'm actually going to be going over a video next that's going to be talking about what are some jobs that you can do right now that can help you get to that travel or be on the road. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. But this really comes down to, before even getting to that, you have to write down what you're good at. So for example, if your corporate job right now is in admin, then there's a lot of admin jobs that you can do. You can do anything from being a virtual assistant or an admin. There's a lot of people in small businesses looking for someone like that. And you can also be, a person who does their Pinterest post. There's so many things that are needed on there. So really go through your resume and figure out, what did you learn from this job and how can you make a title or give that service to someone, and break it down. I think this is one of the biggest things. Obviously, when you're on the road, you want to be able to work from your laptop, your computer, as long as you have good Wi-Fi, which is actually a necessity. If you're going and traveling on the road, you need to have good Wi-Fi. Not every single place. I've been to places where the Wi-Fi was super bad and it actually hurt me as someone who's working on the road. So just a heads up for you guys, make sure that you have good Wi-Fi, and also make sure that you're lining up that job. But first, it really comes down going back to your resume, making a list of maybe 5 to 10 jobs and things that you can offer online, and kind of going from there. Also, be open to taking courses. I use Udemy. It's amazing. I also know there's something called Skillshare. Haven't used it, so I can't talk about it confidently, but Udemy is really great. It's actually people that have courses, and they teach you anything, and they also have great certifications on there as well, depending on what job that you want to fulfill. So even if you have something and you're still not familiar with the tools and everything, you can go on there, maybe do a course on sales, do a course on SEO, do a course on whatever, and you can learn that, and then that can be helpful for you so you can be qualified to support whoever your clients or the person that you're working with when you're on the road. Okay, so the next one, not a lot of people talk about this, but I felt like this was a crucial thing the past 1.5 to 2 years, is have a home base. Whether it's a family's house, a friend's house, whatever it is, that you can just bring all your mail and stuff to, and you can also just like have a place that you can go over the holidays. Usually people for that case is family, but you know, it's just really great to come home sometimes. And if you're like me and in Canada, you actually have to be in the country for a certain amount of time, and it's important. So that's just a heads up for you guys. Have a home base where you can just like have all your stuff. It's also a great option if you want to store things. Now, this is a luxury. Not everyone has this setup, but you can also store things at a friend or family's place. It's also a great opportunity for you to declutter and minimalize all your stuff. That's what I did. But think of it this way, if you can't have a home base where you can store, it's going to save you so much money. Usually storage is like $250, $200 a month. That's a lot of money. That's pretty hefty. And about over $3,000 that you can save, like give or take, or well, not $3,000, but about that, depending on or $250, $2,500, depending on where you're storing your stuff. And why not save that for travel, for your business, for just in case money? So I think it's just like a smart thing, is just have a home base, have a place where you can stay, where you can come back for holidays, and just kind of like get yourself organized throughout the year. The next one I find is very important, and the fourth tip that I wanted to share with you guys is research the cost of living at whatever is going to be your destination. So especially if you're a first comer going somewhere and you're traveling on board, please make sure that you check out how much it will cost for the apartment that you're renting, how much it will cost for the hostels, how much it will cost for you to transportation is actually one of the highest costs that is going to happen. So the great thing about being a nomad is you're actually home for 3 months or 4 months in a country or a city, and that could really lower the cost. Another great thing too is look into places that maybe are cheaper for currency for your dollar. So for example, here in Canada, or even similar to the US, like a great option would be like Asia or South America or Central America. There's a lot of nomads there. There's a lot of like nomadic kind of friendly locations, and maybe I'll do a video on that. If you guys want that, let me know down below. But those are some examples, and there's also some cities that you can go to where you know, like, hey, the cost isn't going to be too expensive, and depending on what place, you know, it is going to be a little bit cheaper. Like if you go to Europe, you're probably going to be spending a lot more compared to going to Asia, where you can probably get an apartment for like $500, sometimes less than that, $200 or a room. So just be mindful and do your research of what your budget's going to be. And then that also allows you to know how much you need to save in order for you to do the leap and the jump and feel comfortable. And I think it's just one of the most important parts of planning to, you know, travel the world and work abroad at the same time, or work on the road as a nomad. Last one is be prepared, but also be open-minded. So be prepared in the sense that all the steps that I gave you guys will help you with making sure that you're saving enough money, your finances are in line, that you have a job lined up, you have clients, or you have some type of job. I also forgot to mention, sometimes depending on your employer, they might be open to doing your job while you're working from home. And if you can, then that gives you an opportunity to work and travel. So don't be, you know, don't close that completely. Don't just like, hey, bye, I'm leaving my job, I'm going whatever. Like depending on your job, see if there are options at your current employer if you can do from home. And if so, that might be a great opportunity, so you can just skip the whole searching the job section. Another thing too with being prepared is it just allows you to feel more comfortable with the transition. I remember when I was switching, a lot of my family and friends were like, oh my gosh, like why are you doing this and all that stuff. And it was just very hard for me to transition, not having kind of like that stability and, you know, that fear. So preparing really allows you to kind of just enjoy it. And honestly, by the time you get to the airport, you are so happy you did it, and it's amazing. So I'm so happy I have this lifestyle, and I'm happy and excited for you guys for when you are in the process right now doing it, or maybe you're doing it right now. Another thing of being open-minded is really just like be open-minded of where you can go, where you're traveling. and be open-minded of the countries you go to as well. Like sometimes there are places that I end up going to and I never ever think that it would be a cool place to even stay there for a long time, and then I go there and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, and my plans change. So allow yourself to have some leeway as a nomad. That's the beauty of being a traveler on the go, is that you can just switch it around, and if you find a little small town that you really like in Spain or in Asia or in Indonesia or whatever it may be, you could end up going there and creating a really awesome memory. And I think that is one thing that is kind of a benefit of being a traveler and a nomad at the same time. You get to see so much of the world while being able to, you know, learn things and still have work and, you know, have so many adventures that you can keep in your treasure chest. Like that's just so great. So those are the tips I hope you guys really enjoyed on how you can travel the world right now, be a nomad, and just really take the leap. And this will kind of give you ease to doing the transition. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below in the comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to get notifications when these videos are uploaded. And I will see you guys in the next video. Sending you a lot of light, a lot of love, and see you guys later. Bye.